on-prem ortamlarında API güvenliğini dinlemek üzere Desoft Wallarm Global VP James Sherlow'u güçlü alkışlarınızla sahneye davet etmek istiyorum. Welcome, Mr. James Sherlow.
Thank you. Welcome. Thanks very much. Hello, and good afternoon. So I'm here today to discuss with you securing APIs on premises. So here we go. So today we'll cover the security challenges around APIs, how Wallarm can actually assist with that, then how we can protect those APIs that are on premises, and then go through some of the deployment options. So, first of all, when we talk to CISOs around the world, these top three challenges always come up, which is, how many APIs do I actually have? Where are they? And do they hold any sensitive data? Is my PII data in there, my PCI data, or other such information that I need to know about? So that's one big challenge, is how many APIs do I have and where are they? The second one is, how do I protect my APIs in runtime? How do I identify a data leak and prevent it? How do I identify an attack and immediately prevent it? These are the things that are causing concerns around APIs, and we know that existing tools don't work. We know that a WAF and a firewall doesn't stop API attacks. We know that. Why? Because there's lots of API breaches in the news, and I can guarantee they all had a firewall and a WAF, and probably an API gateway. These items don't stop it because they don't understand the business logic for APIs. And then the third challenge we always hear, every security team on the planet, it seems, doesn't have enough people, not enough resources. So how do we take care of that? Anyone here seen any of these three challenges? Anyone have an API? Maybe someone? Ah, great. We have one person with an API and the challenges. Maybe, so everyone else, you're doing a good job. All right, so if we think about these challenges, then what Wallarm is able to do is real-time processing of APIs. We also hear sometimes about agentic AI. And agentic AI runs on top of APIs. So now we have lots more API calls happening not only from humans, but also from agents. So therefore, you have to be able to understand those and be able to identify them. You also need to be able to block attacks in runtime. In real time, identify an attack. It could be across a session. It could be business logic abuse. It might be credential stuffing campaign, or it could be data theft. Identify that and natively block it. But conform to some framework like the OWASP API Top 10, so that then you can identify and remediate fixes. But what we also see is many people will develop APIs using REST. But guess what? Not everyone. Some people will use gRPC. Some people will use WebSockets. If anyone here has used ChatGPT, if you look behind your browser, you'll see it uses WebSockets. So if you only discover and identify REST APIs, you're going to miss a whole lot of APIs that need securing and need identifying and could leak data. So it's important that you support all kinds of APIs, not just REST. And it includes legacy APIs such as SOAP. So this is what the platform is enabling us to do: identify attacks, prevent them, identify all your APIs and give you an inventory, but also integrate with your existing workflows to make sure that operationally you can manage the platform. So what about protecting APIs on premises? Well, I want to split this into three different categories. capabilities, compliance, and deployment. So the capabilities, first of all, identify my APIs. This is like the first requirement. Tell me what my APIs are, where they are, and what data are they transferring. Of course, once I identify my APIs, I will then need to see if they're compliant. Do they run any sensitive data? Is there potentially credit card information or personal information inside of those APIs? If there is, do I need data masking to make sure that any identifiable data is immediately masked so that nothing ever leaves the on-premise environment? It's critical that if you have APIs running huge parts of your business, imagine if you have open banking, or if you have a data collection system, or even a checkout system. They all use APIs, and all of that data needs to be masked before it ever leaves your environment. So that's critical. And then, of course, data sovereignty. Which data must stay on-premise and never leave the environment to maintain the compliance and ensure that your data is safe. And then, of course, you need a deployment option. How do you deploy on an existing technology stack? Imagine if you don't have a cloud solution, you want to deploy everything inside your environment. You might have VMware, you might have Red Hat, you might have Ubuntu. Who knows what you have, but being able to identify that technology stack and install on top of it. As well, of course, identify internal APIs as well as external APIs, and be able to deliver that in an environment where you can also have multi-tenancy for different teams. So these are the three key areas when we're thinking about on-premise APIs that we should cover. So then you choose your right deployment option. It could be 100% in the cloud. It could be zero touch with nothing actually deployed anywhere and just do a discovery. Or we could deploy hybrid and make sure that all data masking is done and no sensitive data ever goes to the cloud. Or last but not least, just deploy everything on-prem and then make sure that no data ever leaves the environment. So you can select and change and add and move things as you see fit according to your requirements and your API's requirements. So when you're choosing the right option, you need to think about what APIs do you have. If you have cloud APIs, then maybe you need SaaS. If you have all three, cloud APIs, external APIs, and internal, you'll need to go for a hybrid approach. And if you only have internal and externally facing APIs, then of course you can go for a fully on-premise deployment. This will allow you to make sure that you have data masking is available across all the options, of course, but data sovereignty means, hey, I want to deploy everything on-prem and make sure no data ever leaves my environment. And of course, that's a choice you can make and is perfectly valid. So these are all the three ways in which you can deploy, and you choose the right one depending on how and where your APIs are. And with that, I want to thank you for your time and your attention. Any questions, please do come and find me. I will be on the DSoft Wallarm stand outside near the entrance, quite near the food, so you can walk past me and then go and get yourself something to eat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.